So we all have these things that we've been refusing to look at. They're just too painful, maybe. So once the feeling comes up, it's like, oof, no, I'd rather do something else. I can feel the other ones, it's not too bad, but this, no, not gonna look at that, not gonna touch that. But these are actually your greatest nutrition, greatest insights, and aliveness that can come from that. So these are the ones we really don't want to go into because they were so painful, right? And maybe you thought that it's like, okay, because I had this thing, that means that maybe this feeling, whatever it is, could mean something bad about me. Like I'm a failure, or I'm all fucked up, something wrong with me, something I'm just, I don't know, right? Like an outcast in some way, not good enough in some way, right? So it's the attached meaning to it also. So we try instead, when it comes up, right? Then we try to, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna show I'm good enough, right? I'm gonna go do some work now. I'm gonna go prove that I can do these things, go practice, work out, whatever it is. But it actually, it's just that cycle, right? It's that you're never getting out of. The emotion is still there. It's still there, the stuck energy, the painfulness of it. It's just masked temporarily by you doing something to try to feel better. And maybe you are feeling better. You probably are for a while. But then, sooner or later, it's gonna come up again, right? So it's just how long can you go on? It's until it's too painful, right? Or until you really realize or can really see it like clearly that, oh shit, this is what's going on. It's this pattern. And oh, maybe I just have to deal with this. Not deal with it, but, you know, let it come up. This really painful, uncomfortable emotion that's been pushed down almost my whole life. And it's like, oh no, now is this again. This is the one, because that's the whole psychology around it, is that basically you're doing everything to not feel that again, to not feel like that again. You set up your whole life to not feel like this again, because I never want to feel like this. For example, if you felt like you're a loser, or like you felt really bad if you were playing sports or something when you were little. So maybe okay, I'm never ever gonna play sports again, or any games maybe for that matter, because then I'm not gonna feel like that again. I'm not gonna have that feeling again, right? Simple. Of course, it doesn't really work like that, but yeah, that's the that's how the mind works, right? It's like protection. Don't want to feel like that again. But actually, of course, it's avoiding it. It's pushing it to the side, and then it's actually controlling our whole life and making us run away from something small and not alive, like it's not alive around that. Like you can just feel when you sometimes someone talk about something and just someone just get excited or become alive, and then there's one person who just like shrink down, right? It's just like their life force is just gone. Maybe you can relate to that. I know I can at least. That's that's that stuck energy there that's being triggered, right? That part that there's no flow, there's no movement in, because there's this painful thing from the past, this maybe traumatic thing, whatever you want to call it. But there's this emotion, this energy that's not moving, right? Because there's something that was too painful. So what I'm inviting to is just, instead of going out there, even people making whole careers out of not wanting to feeling that one thing again, careers they maybe don't like, or they're gonna get burned out or fucked up by in some way. So what I'm saying is, you can let it come up. And it's tricky, I know, it's very, very difficult, right? But you just remember that it's not the stories, right? It's never true about it. It's never true, the stories we tell ourselves about it. Because it's from a wrong perspective. That's basically what all trauma is, that you're like locked in a perspective, right? Like you cannot see it in a different way. So, but by just going through it, letting it, basically letting an emotion just like hit you like a train, just let it run over you. And you're gonna lay there. This is, of course, metaphorically speaking. But you're gonna lay there, the emotions, the train emotions coming, hitting you like that. And you're gonna feel bad, right? You're gonna feel really bad. And maybe you're gonna feel lost. And maybe it's not gonna go over like this. Maybe you're gonna actually go through hours and hours or whatever of actually feeling bad. Feeling like maybe not that intense for hours, but you're gonna feel like kind of lost, kind of like bad. Like just that feeling in the background, kind of. But just staying with it as best as you can. Trying to just let it all out, let it all go, the conditions, but when, how long, what's gonna happen, what does this mean? So it's gonna eventually move through, right? And then you're gonna get this freedom from the other side, right? Then you're gonna get this expansion and this movement again, this flow, this openness. And then this maybe things gonna start to happen in your life related to that area. Suddenly it's not stuck and blocked anymore. And you could become more alive again there. Suddenly you're alive. There's a part of you that kind of was dead that's now alive. There's like a little bit more wholeness and aliveness. And then we can, the thing is, right, because when it's blocked, basically it's shut down the feeling capacity. So that's why we cannot feel or sense certain things. Maybe you've seen other people, they just cannot feel or sense a certain social dynamic or yeah, whatever it is that you could feel, because they have some blockage in that area, right? just like everyone has in different areas. And then suddenly that's opened up. So then you can feel it again. You can see, oh, now I can suddenly sense what is the appropriate or right thing for me to do here. Instead of it being like you're just thinking about it, but you don't really, not connected with it, right? So you gain, and then also the insights that can come from this. It's kind of the nutrition in a way. There's also there's insights about it if it's needed, so it's gonna come. You don't have to worry about it or like think about it. It's gonna come. If there's something there for you that's you're meant to have some insight about it, it's gonna come also. So that's kind of the cool thing. It's not too complicated. It's just an uncomfortable process. And you can feel kind of lost. So you have to kind of trust that if I just follow this, right, if I take care of myself, if I'm being with it, of course, just take care of yourself whatever way you need, right? But then you're gonna come out eventually on the other side. However long time it takes, you just kind of have to try to forget about it. Because the more you put any time limit on it or trying to push it, it's just basically just gonna stop dead in its tracks. And that's a little bit tricky. It needs a little bit of practice to let go of that. That you're gonna come out the other side. Just like kind of if you buy a small apple tree and if you water it and it gets sunlight and it gets nutrients from the soil, you know that it's gonna grow bigger and get apples in maybe a few years. You don't go around questioning it, right? Why? Because you know the process. You trust the process. Maybe you've seen it before. It's common. So it's kind of the same thing. It's just that it's more tricky to trust the process fully. That's why you have to experience it. Because then if you've done it once, you see, oh yeah, I did actually come out all right on the other side with the benefits. And then with another thing is also, okay. So yeah, kind of need that experience, that faith before you have experience. So that's it. Wish you the best of luck.